On the very first day, some rude boys threw hot coffee on the new teacher. Seeing this, the biggest fighter in the class stood up and landed 2 hard punches on the boy who had thrown it. Another boy tried to act tough too, but the fighter kicked him once and sent him flying out of the class. Now everyone left the class to enjoy the fight, except for Gammon. The teacher was completely confused about what kind of school this was. When she started shouting, all the students laughed at her. Watching this, the fighter came back into the classroom and signaled everyone to sit back down. Nobody in the whole college dared to ignore his orders, except Gammon, who didn't like the fighter's style at all. The reason was that he would openly insult the teacher and embarrass her in front of everyone. During break time, Gammon asked the teacher for permission to teach that cheap fighter a lesson, but she dismissed him as just a child and refused. The next day, the fighter crossed all limits. He was brutally beating up a poor boy who couldn't pay extortion money. The teacher saw that he was treating the boy like terrorists treat their victims. She asked the male teachers to help, but even they were too afraid to interfere with the fighter. Finally, she decided to step in herself, but Gammon stopped her. He wore a mask, filled the room with smoke, distracted everyone, and successfully rescued the boy. But instead of being thankful, the boy got angry at Gammon. He said that if Gammon hadn't saved him, the fighter would have finished him off today. And now, because of Gammon, the fighter would bully him every single day. Saying this, the boy was about to leave, but the cheap fighter stopped him again. The fighter asked him about the masked guy, but even after being beaten, the boy kept his mouth shut. Then the fighter lifted a baseball bat, ready to smash his head, when Gammon once again appeared and saved him. Seeing him, the fighter tried to act like a don, but just one punch from Gammon shut down his carburetor. Gammon thought maybe he had killed him, but the fighter was still breathing. The next day in class, someone threw a chair at Gammon. It was the same fighter, because now he knew that Gammon was the masked guy. In front of everyone, he set Gammon's notebook on fire to make him lose control. But Gammon didn't care at all. He just wanted to save his notebook without fighting. By then, it was too late. Watching his notebook burn, he had no choice but to answer the fighter. The fighter, humiliated in front of everyone, grabbed a bag set on fire and threw it at Gammon. But calmly, Gammon threw it right back at him. After taking so much beating, the fighter could barely stand. Gammon had defeated the college's #1 fighter in front of everyone. From that day on, whenever his weaker friend walked by, people respected him. When the news of Gammon's bravery reached the senior boys of the college, one of them came to settle things with him. The senior searched for him and finally found him in the library. But Gamin thought maybe he had come to invite him into their group. The senior attacked, but Gamin walked away. No matter how many strikes the senior made, Gamin unintentionally dodged all of them. The boy standing outside enjoyed the unintentional fight. In the end, Gamin opened a cupboard, the senior crashed into it, and fainted on the spot. Gamin had no idea how someone could faint without a proper reason.